Not you, Big. I can tell you that much right now. Sorry, Big just asked me who I wanted to play as, and I this is the same play session as when I did all this, and I just can't. So I'm gonna do a quick palate cleanser. We're gonna do some Gamma. So thanks for coming back. Welcome to UpmostGames. Welcome back to Sonic Adventure. So here's something cool I like about Gamma. Gamma by far has the most interesting storyline. I mean, look at the amount of detail for how this starts. You get a first-person perspective of the character when we're going through this. There's just a weird amount of detail and care compared to, say, Amy's or Big's. That Gamma gets that none of the other characters got. Even Sonic was just like, he's padded out for like everything that's going on, and I think they made it so that he has the longest storyline, so he touches everyone else's storylines. But at the same time, I don't know. I think it would have been better if Sonic only interacted with his like friends and characters, and each one kind of branched off on its own. The only way you could actually unlock all the characters is by playing all the different stories. Whereas if you just play through all Sonic, he'll touch everyone enough, which again kind of comes out completely wrong when I say it out loud. But so all you have to do is really play through Sonic's storyline to unlock everyone. I think it would have been better if there was a branching kind of path for, well, at least not branching path so much as just the different characters you get based on who you play as. You know, like if Knuckles were the one that interacts with Big or Amy or something like that, where Tails doesn't, or something along those lines. You know, something in that vein of everyone has their own kind of branching paths, and not everyone touches every other character to the point where you actually have to play everyone's storyline to unlock everyone. I think that'd be kind of nice. That'd be a good way to handle it, but of course I'm not making the game, so I shouldn't be talking, I guess. Should I? Hope I can. I don't know, we'll see. Meanwhile, there appears to be a helicopter going over my house because getting sounds of cars was not good enough, so if this gets picked up, I apologize. It's like fate's against me for recording stuff. Either way, I'm not worried about it right now. So it starts off, first of all, he has a base training level, a tutorial level that says, hey, here is simple ways for you to do this. Nothing hurts you, but you can learn the lock-on mechanic. You learn about the time mechanic, and even Robotnik is telling you this during the tutorial. You don't get that with the other characters and their mechanics, like especially someone like Big, whose mechanic is very what the hell is going on, and the only way to learn it is by going into the help menu, or God forbid trial and error. This is why I think Gamma's is very interesting, because he got a lot of detail and attention, and I don't know if we had like 6 different groups or teams or something like that working on each individual one, and just things didn't get done, or the teams weren't good, or it was an issue of there was one team jumping between all the different storylines, and just certain ones got more priority over others. I don't know. But this one is very interesting because he has the most unique bosses to a certain extent. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand the E-series fights aren't necessarily that crazy, but there is some variety to them. And they're not very hard with how they're handled. But his main bosses of like Epsilon and Beta later, which, you know, spoiler, I guess? Who's watching this right now that hasn't played this game? Like, I feel like there should be at least a good amount of people that has either seen this game all the way through or have played this game if you come to my channel. Is that ignorant of me? I don't know. Maybe I don't think I'm big enough for people to find me without searching for it hard enough. I guess that's the real way to look at it. But it's very interesting how diverse his enemies are, or boss fights are, and how much more structure there is to them compared to other people. I guess I shouldn't say that, because like Chaos is a pretty structured boss fight in all of his forms, but he does get reused a lot, whereas Gamma doesn't. Like, Gamma, I don't want to say this because I don't remember off the top of my head, but I don't believe Gamma ever has anything to do with Chaos or even remotely fights Chaos. Like, the most he has is getting Froggy, and that's it. Everything outside of that has nothing to do with the Chaos storyline, which is incredibly interesting to me. And let me phrase that. With the exception of, like, the Takal vision, but everyone gets the Takal vision, which, I don't know. It's very interesting.
Aha! Testing 1, 2, 3. You, the elite egg carrier crew, are here today
to scrub the ship! Brushes over there, toothbrushes are behind the counters. I'm going on a diet. And this time I mean it. It's strictly frog, specifically this frog, so if I don't have this frog on my table by 5 p.m., I'm going to starve to death, because I really haven't had anything today.
You hear me? I don't care what it takes to get it. Just bring it to me.
If you have to beat up some children, beat up some children. Hell, do it even if you don't have to. I'm evil! And even God, this whole thing, like, it's really weird, because, like, it's still done in Sonic Adventure style, which means the graphics are cream's flying through the air. He's still kind of buggy with certain things, like, as I get my crotch stuck on a hydrant. He's got this weird, like, if you walk for long enough, he goes into this, like, Range Rover kind of thing, which makes it impossible for him to walk over curves, but he's faster. And then when you go over water, he's got, like, this hover mode because he's a robot and he can't get in the water, and this is a bad example because I can't get in the damn water. But there's just so much detail done to Gamma that's really interesting. Like, it's crazy. So, either way. It's just weird. Like, I feel like there's a lot of that could have been easily shifted over to someone like, especially Amy. You think a character who actually was here before this started, who may not be part of the main cast, like, would have gotten some more attention to detail. But I mean, she got some puzzles, and she had a pretty interesting mechanic. But she had 3 levels, three freaking levels. I don't know. I'm thinking too much about this. I should just be insulting the game like I like to do sometimes. But I don't know. I like to give Gamma some leeway in this game, because his story is one of those weird ones. Like, his story is a very interesting story where it's like there's substance to it. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It's weird. Like, but at the same time, some of these levels aren't even necessarily that long, now that I think about it, because, like, you got that tutorial level, and then you got this level that just kind of ends abruptly, and I don't know if it's because they didn't want to have to shoot him over the way here. Oh, look, I'm done. I don't know. They're weird. And they try and trick me by making the time inverted. But, I don't know. There's a lot of interesting points to the story. And not a lot of... There's not a lot of that with the other ones, unfortunately. Like, Tails has a kind of interesting story because he's trying to, you know, grow stronger. He actually has some character development. I think that's pretty cool. Sonic has none of that. He's the only one, but although at the same time he's also the one that uncovers a lot of the Chaos backstory. Although he doesn't have a lot of context without these other call segments to understand what's going on about the whole Chaos situation, but he still has a good bulk of it that when you get the little spot, you're like, oh, that all makes sense now. Knuckles, I would have liked to have seen more to do with him actually understanding his roots better, and kind of, instead of him being like, guess I'm just stuck on this island forever, I would have liked to have seen him do some more understanding his purpose and understanding why it's so important that he guards the Master Emerald, I guess, is what I'm looking for. And Big, I wish we could have just written him out, but maybe that's just because I'm bitter about the last hour I wasted of my life. I don't know. Who knows? Meanwhile, these sons of bitches over here are singing up a storm and probably conjuring Chaos to come kick my robo ass, but As I saw in the big storyline, who knows if they can even see me? I know Takal occasionally acknowledges me, but never consistent. I'll never know.
No, don't go any closer.
Oh, see, now she's acknowledging me. Now I actually matter to her. Don't step on them. Your robo-gears would immediately crush them and grind their bodies to paste.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Robot. I didn't know such a cute man would come over here and say hi to my chow. Oh, hi. She's got that look on her face like she's crushing on him hard. Look at that. She's into him.
He's a very loving and gentle.
She likes the hot rod red. Most of the girls do. Oh yeah, just stretch out those long arms, buddy. Really show some charm.
Seeing in peace.
Convey no emotion.
Even I
Perfect.
was surprised
Perfect.
the first
He's
time
on.
I saw
We're on the
them.
same page. He and I subscribe to the same way we like to pick up women.
Their sacred home.
Let them talk and just stare blankly off into the distance. Not even at the tiny chows in front of you, but just off into the distance. I'm assuming the stairs. Probably lots of nice craftsmanship that you're admiring. Because you're a man's man. You like things like that. Where am I going with this? Dear God. It's like tangent after tangent with me. Can I go home now? Thanks.
This frog's the one we want. No, here's the real one. My frog is the right one.
See, look at, and even this, you're coming in here and you're like, oh, geez, how'd I get back here? But you're coming back to all these guys fighting and arguing and stuff like that, and there's like character within the robots and stuff like that, and then you don't see this with the rest of the story. It's ridiculous. Like any of the other stories, like none of this, like, it's weird to say depth, but there is like some pretty decent depth to all this.
Has also swallowed a chaos emerald.
Not to mention these guys are colorblind. It was clearly green. What was that, red, purple, and what was the other one on the end? Who was the idiot bringing in like a gray frog?
I'm proud of you, Gamma.
Good job, you're the only one that can actually follow simple picture instructions. Now put this dresser together from IKEA. You're the only one I can try. Oh geez, please, chill out. Chill out. Sorry, it's a yellow frog, my bad. See, but look at this, look at this. He looks at him, gives him the sad look as he's getting vaporized.
You will get the
And Gamma clearly has an issue with it. Like, it's weird. And maybe it's just because they all awkwardly stare off into the distance that way, and it just seems like that was a sentimental moment. But you're gonna give me that, but trust me, it's worse. There's more. There's more to it, and like Gamma actually has some point A to point B character development. It's really weird. It's really cool, and this is probably the highlight of Sonic Adventure for me. I don't know. I'm gushing too much. This is I spent too long bashing because of Big, and now I'm on what is essentially my favorite storyline. And then you go into the door that you never go into the entire series, unless you're Gamma, and it's part of story. And conveniently, a swirly tabletop was sitting there that can guide you in the wrong direction. And you see, oh, that's weird. Some weird black parts are just sitting there. That's crazy. Oh, Jesus, my brother. No. Oh, no. What are they? He's got orange eyes and some... They gave him a Cyclops retina in the middle of it? Oh, God, he's like a Triclops.
Beta.
And then the music. It's the chaos music, but it's still sad. And he's got to stare at this. And he's got to, like... kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? He's gotta take it in. He's gotta understand it. He's gotta process it. And it's so terrible. It's so terrifying. And look,
This is the wrong room.
and he's nonchalant about it because he's a robot, but that still doesn't change the fact that he's clearly like, my brother? Oh, God. And on this incredibly sad note, I'm gonna end it here. I want to come back with more Gamma. More of my boy Gamma. I love him. He's so awesome. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back with more Sonic Adventure and more Gamma. And hopefully I'll snap out of this and we can actually have some fun with this. Bye.